In the land of Israel, long ago, lived a young boy named David. He wasn't tall, he wasn't strong, and he definitely wasn't a soldier. David was just a shepherd, the kind who spent his days singing to God, playing the harp, and protecting his sheep from wild animals. Nothing about him screamed warrior. But far from his peaceful hillside, something loud and terrifying was happening. Drummed the roar of trouble. The Israelite army had gathered to face their enemies, the Philistines, in a standoff that lasted days. But it wasn't the whole Philistine army that had the Israelites trembling. It was one man, or should we say one giant. Goliath was a mountain of a man, nearly 10 feet tall, covered in bronze armor, and loud enough to shake the hills with his voice. Every day, he marched out and bellowed, "Hey, send me your best warrior. Let's fight one-on-one. If he wins, we'll be your slaves. But if I win, and I will, you all serve us." And just like clockwork, every day, no one from Israel moved a muscle. Back home, David's father, Jesse, had no idea his son was about to enter history. He simply said, "David, take some bread and cheese to your brothers at the battlefield. Check how they're doing." So David packed his bag and set off, more of a delivery boy than a warrior. When he arrived, he heard Goliath's booming voice echoing across the valley. But unlike everyone else who shrank in fear, David's eyes lit up with holy fire. "Who is this loudmouth?" David asked. "Is he seriously mocking the army of the living God?" The soldiers laughed at David. "You? Fight Goliath? Go home, shepherd boy. That giant will eat you like roasted goat." But David stood his ground. "I've faced lions and bears to protect my sheep, and God delivered me. This giant is no different." Word of David's confidence spread like wildfire, and soon, King Saul sent for him. King Saul stared at the boy before him. No armor, no muscle, no experience. "You can't fight him," Saul said. "He's been trained since childhood. You still look like you do your homework in the sand." But David smiled and replied, "Sir, the same God who rescued me from the claws of lions and bears will rescue me from this Philistine." With no better options, Saul agreed, but insisted David wear royal armor. David tried it on, but clanked around like a broken robot. "No offense, your majesty," David said, struggling to walk, "but I fight better without sounding like a kitchen." Armor off, sling in hand, David made his way to the nearby stream. He picked 5 smooth stones, not because he thought he'd miss, but because sometimes giants take more than one shot. With a heart full of faith and a pouch full of pebbles, David marched out toward Goliath. Goliath saw David and burst into laughter. "What's this? You send me a boy with sticks? Do I look like a dog?" David didn't flinch. "You come at me with a sword, a spear, and muscles that probably need their own zip code, but I come at you in the name of the Lord of hosts." The two stared each other down. Goliath growled, "I'm going to turn you into bird food." David grinned. "You'll be a good meal, for the same birds you're bragging about." David twirled his sling. Once, twice, 3 times. Whiz. The stone flew through the air like a divine missile and struck Goliath right between the eyes. Time froze. The Philistine army gasped. Thud. Goliath crashed to the ground like a falling wall, and the earth shook. Silence fell over the battlefield. Then, slowly, the Israelites began to cheer. Goliath is down. The Philistines panicked and fled like frightened goats. The Israelites chased them, suddenly filled with courage thanks to one small boy with big faith. David didn't need armor. He didn't need a sword. And he didn't need to be tall, strong, or famous. He only needed faith. Because when God is on your side, even giants fall face first. From that day on, no one looked at David the same. Some called him a hero. Others called him a warrior. But David? He just kept trusting God, one stone at a time.